Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. In this one we're going to go over strategy tester in MetaTrader 5. This is going to be the most in-depth video there is. We're going to go over each one of the settings and I'm going to tell you which ones are important and which ones you can basically skip. So if you're interested, stick around. Before we dive deep into the strategy tester, if you're interested in any of the trading tools we build at tradersmarket.io, there's going to be a link in the description, so check it out. So let's get started with strategy tester. If you open your MT5 under view, you're going to be able to see strategy tester, or Ctrl+R is the shortcut. By clicking that, you're going to see this whole panel come up. Now, before we dive into the real settings, let's explain what the strategy tester is used for. The two things that strategy tester is used for are backtesting and optimization. Actually, it's backtesting, and then what we do is we optimize based on that. So, what does this mean? What is actually backtesting? Backtesting means that you are taking a specific period. Let's say this is 2020 and this is from 2020 to 2024. These are 4 years of data. You are testing your trading bot. Let's say it's the EMA crossover bot, because we always use that one. And let's say this is the pair is Euro US dollar. So you took these 4 years of data on Euro US dollar, you put your trading bot on top of it, and you want to see how it performs. This is what backtesting means. So it's going to go over each one of the data points. It's going to emulate how markets was going, like up and down and back up, etc. And it's basically going to enter the buys and sells according to this strategy, as if it was like the real situation. Okay. At the end, you get some metrics, like how much money you made or lost, your average win, average loss, your drawdown, and we're going to see all of these metrics later on. So why backtesting is important? Well, I think all of my videos in some way mention backtesting. Backtesting is basically how you make sure your strategy is good. So if you don't do backtesting, you are basically just trading randomly. When you backtest, you can have confidence in your strategy. So strategy tester is like the most important part of MetaTrader, if you ask me. And the other thing is optimization. So optimization means that you want to see which parameters of your trading bot are working best. So let's say the EMA crossover, that's the easy one. It has the slow period EMA and the fast period EMA. So let's say these are the only two parameters that you have in this trading bot. So what you want to do is you want to see which combination of these parameters, so which settings are, let's say, making the most money. So what you would do is you would take your US dollar, you would take the EMA crossover, and then you would say, okay, I want to try out different combinations here. So let's say I want to see the slow being 200 and the fast being 50. This is the most popular combination and I want to test this out. But also I want to see what happens if this is 100 and this is, let's say, 250. And let's say I want to see 300 and 100 here. So you can see there are multiple combinations I want to test out, and then I want to find the best one and trade that. So this is what optimization actually is. It means taking all of these, okay, all of these combinations and running them across this history of a couple of years or a couple of months. Of course, it would be better to have more data, so a couple of years mostly, at least 1 year. And then I see what are the best parameters and I pick those to actually trade with. So this is what optimization means, okay? So now we're going to go over MetaTrader, strategy tester, and see how does it help us do these two things. So when you open the strategy tester, you're going to see a lot of stuff, and let's go over each one of them. So this right here is my previous results with like backtesting and optimization. So this is just, my history. This right here is a row of different options you have, and I'm just gonna go first over the ones which are not so important, so we can just get it over with. So the first one is the math calculations. So math calculations is used only in some complex trading bots which do a lot of very heavy calculations like training neural networks or stuff like that. And this mode is basically just trying to utilize as much of your PC as possible. So it's going to utilize your CPU, then it's going to deploy some cloud servers on the cloud maybe. So it's basically just going to run any calculations inside your trading bot the fastest way possible, and that's it. So this is really reserved for some very specific trading bots, so you're not gonna care about this. You're maybe gonna care if you're a developer, but not in any other way. So we got this out of the way. The next one is the market scanner. So market scanner, as you can think, is basically the same thing as a normal backtest, but just over multiple symbols. I don't use this that much. It sounds that it would be useful, but to be honest, each trading pair is its own story. Each asset is its own story. So I don't think that just running it on multiple pairs is gonna help me optimize or anything like that. So yeah, it's just a setting that I don't use that much. Then stress and delays. This is something regarding different slippage or spread stuff. So again, this is something you would use if you're a developer to make sure your trading bot is working fine. If you're just a user, you're not going to be using that. So the next one is visualize. We skipped these because we're going to go over them later. The visualize is basically for just visualizing how your EA works. This is very similar to this one. We're going to go over it. So you're just going to see visually how your trades are being opened and closed. And the indicator is just to see your indicators. So again, not something that I use often. If you're building an indicator or whatever, then you might be using it, but other than that, not so useful. So now we get into the most useful, and these are the single, which is actually very connected to this, so maybe I should not have said anything about this one, and optimization. So single just means you have a trading bot and you want to backtest it, and that's it. The optimization means you have a trading bot, you have your history, and you want to optimize it. So now what you need to know is that basically almost all of these boil down to the same screen and just different settings. What I mean, right here you can click on settings, and basically here you have settings of your backtest and optimization. So if you would, for example, click this, you would open the same thing. It would just take this visual mode. So anyways, you should not really care about this that much. Just go to the settings, and now we're going to go over one by one. The first thing is the expert. The expert is the expert advisor or the trading bot. Here we have SMA, which means the simple moving average. And this is the crossover trading bot that we are mostly optimizing, trading, and we take it as an example for a lot of work we do. So this is where you pick your trading bot, okay? Here in the settings, you can actually do the following. You can save the settings and load the settings. These are like the most important ones. Here there are also last settings. There are optimization results it remembers for this. etc. But the most important are load and save settings. If you click load settings, what this will do is this will try to load settings for your tester. Okay, so let's say you saved some tester settings. This is just the way to load them and for it to remember your last backtest. Okay, save settings will save the current settings. Okay, it is this tester set file. Okay. The IDE is the actual development environment. So if you click this, then it's gonna open, it would be same as clicking here, and it's just gonna open the place where you code your trading bots. So again, if you are not a coder, then you're not gonna be using these as much. The settings you would be using, but nothing else. Then the symbol. So the symbol right here, euro, US dollar. You can see I have many different symbols, like, you know, futures, metals, like gold, silver, stuff like that, etc. Right here is the time frame. So for me, it's H1 time frame because that's what I want to be trading. You can pick M1, and what this is going to do is it's going to show you M1, like 1 minute candles, if you go to the visual mode. Okay, this can also be a bit tricky with some trading bots, and I'm going to explain how when we get to these settings. So now let's go to the next one, and this is the symbol. So when you click here, you're going to see information about your symbol. So the description is euro versus US dollar. If you go here, for example, under the spread, we talked about this. Here you can put a fixed spread of 3 pips, or you can put the floating. So yeah, I don't know why it's not working now, but yeah, okay, so it put it automatically. Okay, so it put the floating automatically. So yeah, again, lower you can see all the, you know, the contract size, the calculation, it's forex, and a lot of other stuff like when it gets traded, etc. Now we get into the date, and this is like custom period. This is the last year, so from 2025 to 2026. So this is whole 2025 year. You can take like last year, last month, or entire history. Be careful with entire history because your history data has specific quality. And what does that mean? That means that it can say that it has that data, but if the quality is low, that means it's missing a lot of data points. So it would try to simulate those data points. So let's say you do entire history and it says it has the last 40 years. That is not going to be realistic. Like if you import 40 years of data, then sure, but by default it's probably going to give you some not so good data, so be careful with that. You don't want to be using that. So most of the time I use last couple of years, and to me that is enough, because also markets are changing and you should take that into account. I don't think there are trading bots that worked the same way in 1980 and in 2020. Like, I don't think that's realistic, to be honest. Only if there's some, you know, super math bots, like with some hedging stuff and stuff like that. The next one is the forward. So forward is something for optimization. And let's explain what does this 1/2, 1/3, 1/4 means, or custom. As I said, you can use, let's say this is 2020 to 2024, okay? 1/2 means that you're dividing your history in half and you are testing, or you're optimizing here on the first half, and then you're testing on the other, okay? And this is something I talk very much about on this channel, about like, do not like just take the whole history, optimize there and be like, okay, I have the best parameters. You don't. So you always take like some part of the history, you optimize here, and then you test right here, like from 2020 to 2023 you optimize, and then 2023 to 2024 you test, and that's where you see how your bot really performs. So this is kind of like that, but this has some limitations which I don't like, so I mostly do this myself. Like I take myself and I optimize on like the last couple of years, let's say, but I remove the last 6 months and then I test on last 6 months. So I do it by hand. That's what's good for me. Now the delays. Delays is something which basically says how much delay is between your execution from your trading bot and actually executing that same thing on your broker. Okay, and right here you can see 114 last ping to your server is 114.80 milliseconds. So this is the realistic one. So it is calculating that, it's saving that for you to actually use it also in your strategy tester. Emulate slippage and requotes, you can click here. Here you can actually, I think, put like different slippage, slippage values. I've never used this, so yeah. As you can see, I think this is for even more like advanced customization. If you have some commissions per trade or stuff like that. Again, I don't think this is. I think this is very advanced and not something I use every time. So the next one is the very important one, and it is modeling. So modeling has a couple of different options. There is the every tick based on real ticks, 1 minute, open, high, low, close, open prices only, and math calculations. The math calculations, this is going to be related to math calculations. As we said, that's not something we are interested in. The open prices only means that you're gonna be getting the open prices of candles. So let's say this is the candle. These are the candles, okay? So you're gonna get, so this is a red candle and this is the green one. You're gonna get open price of this one, and the next thing is gonna be open price of this one, and then it's gonna be open price of this one, because this one is, let's say, gonna be like this, etc. So this is going to be only good for trading bots which trade only on candle open. I don't think most bots do that. I think it's quite the opposite. Most bots trade also inside the candle. So like if something happens, like the signal comes later on, etc. So be careful. This is not the setting you can use with all trading bots. It's just going to give you wrong results. The 1 minute open, high, low, close, this is just 1 minute open, high, low, close, okay? This is very similar to open prices only, just 1 minute. It's just gonna give you a bit more info, but yeah, not much more than that. And then the ones that I actually use are the every tick and every tick based on real ticks. These two are gonna be much heavier and are gonna take much more time than these two, but they are much better. So every tick means that every single change in price is gonna be captured by your trading bot. And this is simulating almost like the most realistic scenario there is, which is gonna be, how it's gonna perform in the future. So it's gonna ingest every single tick, every single price change. So, price goes like, okay, price goes this, and like it goes up, it gets that info, goes up, it gets this info, goes down, same thing. So every single change in price it's gonna get at, and it's gonna be able to react to it. Now, what is the difference between the every tick and every tick based on real ticks is that every tick is actually can be the simulation of MetaTrader 5. So this is why the best option is to pick every tick based on real ticks. This is probably going to be the slowest, but this is going to be the best option there is. Okay, that is very important, and I always suggest using this. Profit in pips for faster calculations. I think this is something which is regarding, how it shows later some stuff. This is turned off for me mostly, so I don't think you should care about this that much. The deposit, this is where you put your deposit. If you are, trading with prop firms or something like that, then you can put, an amount that you have there, like $100,000 account or 300K or whatever. You pick your currency right here. You pick your leverage. These are all the things you know. And now we get into the optimization. So optimizations have a couple of algorithms that can be used. The first one is the slow complete algorithm. So what does the slow complete algorithm means? So let's get actually into the inputs and then see right here. So as you can see, there are different inputs we have for this trading bot. There is the time frame, the methods, the period for faster moving average, slower moving average, stuff like that. And let's keep it simple. So let's take like these two, okay? So there is the fast moving average in EMA crossover strategy and the slow one. And I think we mentioned that on the mirror board also. And let's say you want to go over different combinations, okay? So here I said I want to go from 30 to, from 10, this is the start, to 50 in steps of 20. And for the slow one, I want to go from 50 to 200 in steps of 30, okay? So these are some combinations, right? If we take these two, we can see that there are 18 combinations, okay? So now, what does the slow complete algorithm mean? Is it will basically go and take all the 18 combinations. So it's going to take, the slow and then the fast, and it's going to, take each one of these combinations and it's going to produce the output, okay? This is what the slow complete algorithm does. So it's the simplest one, okay? Now there is the genetic based and it's the fast genetic based algorithm. So as you can see, it's going to be faster. And what it does is it basically tries to understand which values are giving better results. So let's say it generally sees that in these, and I mean, it's going to make more sense when you have a bunch of combinations. So let's say here it's going to see, okay, generally the 10 or 30, like the smaller values for the faster EMA work better. So when I go over all of these values and maybe potentially, all of the others, I'm not going to really go and try the 50 and these higher values because I saw based on some earlier optimizations inside this one run that the lower values are fine, okay? So it just tries to find a smarter way of backtesting and optimizing. So that's basically it. If you have a lot of combinations, this can actually make it a lot faster, okay? What do I use? I use fast genetic a lot of the times. If I want to be sure before I go and deploy the trading bot, then I would also use the slow complete algorithm, but I do think fast genetic one is very fine because when I pick the values for my inputs, I actually try to make them like realistic and I also already have some kind of sense of what's going to be good. So it's kind of, I don't think it can make such big mistakes, okay? But yeah, picking values for inputs and really optimizing the trading bots is a complete another session, so we can do that in another video. And the all symbols selected in Market Watch is again just going over all the symbols, and this is something that I don't use. I think every symbol is another story, so yeah. Now let's go over the final field, which is what is the metric you're optimizing for. So as you can see here, it goes from, there are a couple of them and I have actually a nice explanation. So these are all the different optimization metrics. And what does it mean, optimization metric? This means that it's gonna try to make this metric as big as possible, okay? So let's start with the most simple one and the one that most people are using and most of you are gonna be using. So the first one is balance max. So this means the final balance is like pure focus. So that's the pure profit. So the more profit I make, the better the result. And that's it. And now you would think like, isn't that the whole point? Well, it is, but there are actually a bit smarter techniques that also you can look for. So profit factor max. This is another one very frequently used. And this basically means gross profit divided by gross loss. So in other words, this means like how much profit you make per unit of loss. Why is it good to actually have this higher? Because you're gonna lose. That's obvious. You know, your strategy is gonna have losses. So this just says per unit of loss, like when I lose, let's say $10, because I'm risking that, how much can I earn? Not in one trade, but like on a overall, you know, with this strategy. So the bigger this is, the better, because you are actually making a lot more profit for your risk. Then it's the expected payoff. This is total profit divided by number of trades, and this is basically the average profit per trade. Again, this is a fine metric to be using. Then the recovery factor, this is an interesting one. This is net profit divided by max drawdown. So this is connecting the drawdown, which is very important, and people forget about the drawdowns while drawdowns actually are very important in your strategy, because, you know, as they say, like if you lose 50% of your account, you will need to make 100% of your account to get it back, because it's now you're working with 50% less. So this is, in other words, it would say like how efficiently the strategy recovers losses. Then we have the Sharpe ratio max. This is the final one, and this is the one very popular for different strategies, like in you know, also stock trading, etc. And this is basically what's your return divided by the volatility of the market. So as it says, like consistency over randomness, basically just another good metric. And Sharpe ratio is, I would say, the one most popular metric there is for any strategy. And if you use this, you're definitely gonna do good. If you talk to a trader, making strategies in other space, like I said, like stock markets and stuff like that, they're mostly gonna ask you like, what is your Sharpe ratio? So that's like the most widely used metric. Okay, but it's okay to stick to any one of these. You can also create your custom ones. Again, I say Sharpe ratio, the one I really like. The balance max is just, you know, the pure profit, so you can use even that. And the recovery factor, I think, is very interesting. Recovery factor and gross loss are kind of connected, but recovery factor takes the whole drawdown, you know, into account. So yeah. So these were all the different values for the metrics. Let's say we're gonna take the Sharpe ratio max, and let's now run with these inputs. Let's start the backtest. Right here you can click start. Actually, I'm gonna stop it very quickly because I accidentally put the fast genetic based algorithm. I don't want to do that. Let's just start here in the visual inputs. Let's just click start. So this is just to have this one inputs. I don't know if these are some preset or what, but here it's going to be just one backtest with your US dollar, this trading bot, and all the settings we picked. Because I clicked visual mode on, it's gonna go and show us the charts. Here you can lower the speed, okay? And you can see actually how it opens trades, and then you can leave it running, okay? And as you can see, the balance is changing. We lost some money, And right here you can see the green going to the right. So this is like the backtest is taking more and more data. As you can see here, it's progressing. So let's just wait till the end to see what are the results. So as you can see, it finished. We can close out this. It's gonna open a new tab right here, and you're gonna be able to see, you know, the trades it took. So here it, you know, took a, yeah, this was a sell, so this hit stop loss. But yeah, you can see, so this is January. So it's gonna take you from the, you know, beginning, from the first trade, and then you're gonna need to, you know, scroll and basically find your own trades. Okay, this is minute one because we picked this right here, but in inputs we were using 1 hour for trading, so you can easily go to 1 hour, and then let's see, where is the, yeah, so here is how it looks like, the stop loss, okay, hit. So it's a lot smaller, okay, and right here is a break even, here is a win we had, etc, etc. So you can see all the trades it took. Here, one more. So now we can widen this again, and we can go to backtest, a new tab. Actually, let's go to the graph, because this one is going to be the simplest one. So here you're going to be able to see like the balance in your equity, like going up and down, and at the end you see we made like what, 15% or something like that. In the backtest tab you can see, yeah, so this is bugging a bit, but yeah, you can see a bunch of graphs. Yeah, it seems like clicking right here is actually helping it display everything. But yeah, let's go over all the metrics. So first of all, here you can see that the history quality is 100%, which is very good. There's a number of bars it went through. The initial deposit, the total net profit is 128,000, so this is a 12.8% return. The gross profit, the gross loss, so this is how much money we made and we lost. If you you know, add these numbers, you're gonna get this value. Okay. The next one is profit factor, recovery factor, AHPR. This one I'm not sure what it means, as well as this one. You can see expected payoff. You can see Sharpe ratio. This is the one we were most interested in. Okay, so this is 2.54. If we would be optimizing, then we would see that in a separate like optimization results tab. Here we would see, like, instead of profit, we would see like Sharpe ratio, and it would say like these had the best Sharpe ratio. But yeah, we can go over that separately. Another interesting is like balance drawdown, maximum, absolute. So this is in percentage. Okay, the maximum drawdown, like the margin level, the long and short trades. So this is like the sells and the buys. So here is like percentage of short trades won is 41%, percentage of long trades won is 63%. Percentage of profit trades, like percentage of total, is 50%, loss trades 50%. So this looks to be that we had the same amount of profits and like profitable and loss trades. Then we have like the consecutive wins, the consecutive profits, and then we have like the maximum, the average profit trade, stuff like that. So there are a lot of metrics that you can see. The most important ones are going to be the ones you're looking for, like Sharpe ratio to me, and then what you can see like when you're optimizing, but again we're going to go over that in a separate video, is, for example, if you see that percentage of long trades is a lot higher than percentage of short trades. For example, here, if you see this is 63%, this is 41%, then you can actually add more rules to the short trades, or you can completely eliminate them. So now you're left only with long trades and you have a win rate of 63%. So this is something very, very important, okay? And now if we go to this graph, which is very interesting in the way it opens, Sometimes it does this because I'm on Mac. So here you can see entries by month, entries by weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can see, by hours. Here you're gonna see only these hours being active because we have actually a session filter. So we're not trading all the hours. Profits and losses by hours. This is when we were closing them. Profits and losses by weekdays, etc., etc. So these are some very interesting data points that you can use. Again, as I said, if you see that, for example, you're making money, if you open trades on, let's say, other half of the week, or for example, like Friday, you see you have the least amount of entries, which are, let's say, profitable, then you can say like, this is gonna give you that profits and losses by weekdays, like profits and losses. For example, Wednesday seems to be the one which is giving like the worst results. So you have more losses if you open on Wednesday than profits. So then you just stop trading on Wednesdays, for example, and then you leave these days which are fine and the Fridays which are giving you the most profits. So these are some of the techniques, but again, we're going to talk about them in a separate video. There's very interesting stuff you can do with all of this data. And then down below, you can see like some correlations between parameters and stuff like that. But again, this is like position holding time, stuff like that. Again, I don't look at this that much. I'm more interested in these. But anyways, we're gonna take a look at these in the next video, and also when I actually can open these charts like a normal person. So basically that's it around the strategy tester. You have like the graph, as I said, optimization results. This is gonna be separate video only about optimization. The agents, this is gonna be something around how it uses your CPU, not something you want to care about. And the journal, well, the journal is going to give you like what is actually happening, like application logs. So it's going to log like this happened, then maybe so text data begins from 2024, and then it said the complete optimization started, and then agent started to work, stuff like that. So if you have any bugs in your trading bot, or it just doesn't work, it's probably going to give you some message right here, okay, like connection closed right here or stuff like that. Some errors are going to end up. So this is why this tab is useful. So that would be it for this video. I hope I went through all the settings and now you have a good sense of what strategy tester is all about and how you can use it. If I forgot about any of these, I'm going to go over them in the optimization video. Or also let me know down in the comments below if I forgot anything. One more time, thanks for watching. If you want to check out any of the tools we make at tradersmarket.io, there's going to be a link in the description, so check them out and see you in the next video. Bye.